I actually led off our network's coverage of the president's arrival in Beijing yesterday. He seemed comfortable enough walking onto familiar ground with the things and the people around him. Of course, both you and I are keeping close tabs on what's going to happen today in those discussions and face-to-face meetings between the Chinese president and President Vladimir Putin. And the reasons asked, I think one of them, and this is not empty talk, is the incredibly high level of political mutual trust between the two sides. And literally decades of time and efforts have been poured into nurturing and fostering that level of political mutual trust. We're 30 years from the strategic partnership of coordination between China and Russia, 25 years since the signing of that treaty of good neighborliness and friendly cooperation. So it literally took decades for this relationship to grow, for this political mutual trust to grow. And now, even with this visit, they're talking about elevating this trust level to a new height. So I do think that can be accomplished this time. Another reason I think sometimes goes unnoticed, unappreciated, is that China and Russia have fostered an exemplary model of major country relations. And what that benefits is way more than just China and Russia, the two countries at stake here. It benefits the entire world with a stable China-Russia relationship. Bear with me here, because what they do is that they understand their major responsibilities. They are both permanent members of the UN Security Council. They're constantly on the lookout for the greater good of the greater community. They're on the lookout for the good of fellow developing countries. They watch out for the collective good of the global South. That is why they've been advocating, for example, global governance reform, to give a better and a bigger voice to developing countries, to amplify their voice so that they will enjoy equitable opportunities. They will have access to equitable opportunities and resources.
There are lots of expectations and speculations about what's going to happen, what's going to be achieved. And by the way, up to 40 documents are set to be signed. So what do you personally expect from this day?
You know, it's a two-day whirlwind of a trip for the Russian president. And the main part is today when he will be meeting with his Chinese counterpart. We don't know. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves and speculate what deals will be struck this time. But then keeping in line with past agreements and thinking of the cooperative aspects that have stayed alive in this relationship, I do think there could be deliverables in the trade and economy aspect